Last year, I saw the very sharp and eloquent Joan Lewis present on a big stage like this with Malcolm Gladwell. And I looked to my colleague, Corley Miller, and I said, Corley, we need to get on a big stage like this, man. He's like, why do you want to do that? I said, it's not like I want to be a star. Well, I do, but it's a different story altogether. But there's something about these big stages that I like, It's all these people coming from all over the country, sometimes from different countries, coming to this conference, trying to learn as much as they can, absorb it, probably digest it, and then apply it to their businesses. I have all the attention in the world right now, and my messages can be delivered to you in the best possible manner, right? Now, assume that it was a different setting. We were at a party in the Hamptons, and we had Brad on one side and Angelina on the other. And no matter how good my content was, and despite my charming personality, I won't get your attention. So we don't even have to go to the Hamptons, actually, for that. If I were in the corridor and I was just another vendor, and vendors are not looked at in the best possible light because we're always trying to sell you something, you'd automatically shut off because I'm that guy. But when I'm on the stage, I cross that barrier. I cross that barrier, and suddenly I'm like L'Oreal. I'm worth it. So the context in which things are placed is sometimes more important than the content itself. Content needs to be good, but context actually drives the effectiveness. And we've seen that in our work. 2 years ago, I presented here at the ARF Rethink conference with Dave Kaplan from Bravo. And what we'd seen was we'd taken one ad and placed it in 6 different TV shows. One was contextually relevant. The other 5 were not. So I'm going to show you the second-by-second brain response in terms of memory encoding that people had to the same ad when it was contextually relevant and when not. So here's the video.
Whatever happened to style? Where's the glamour gone? It wasn't too long ago. America had it. Looking and feeling like $1 million. It was practically our birthright. We didn't race from A to B. We cruised. Going for a drive was a big deal. And when we arrived. At the destination. Once again, it's time to arrive in style.
If you look at the end branding, the difference between being contextually relevant and not drove this ad in the 90th percentile of all ads we've ever tested versus being in the 50th percentile when it was not contextually relevant. And it's not just our work. We've seen this across different studies done. Here are 2 studies, one a TV-based study and the other one a Facebook-based study. And both of them said, of all the factors that could possibly impact the effectiveness of an ad, the context itself is the most important. So we decided to take it a step further and look at different ads being placed in different video platforms and see how people reacted to these ads differently. So how did we do this? We could have simply gone out and asked people questions. Do you like watching an ad in a music video online, or do you like watching an ad in a TV show online, or do you like watching an ad on traditional TV? But we didn't want to do that. Our clients at Universal McCann and Vivo decided to take this a step further and use our technology, SST, to look at people's brain responses as they looked at these same ads in different video platforms. In the past few years, neuromarketing's really come up, and people look at it a certain way. In the past, some sales pitches had overpromised and underdelivered. So our clients here at Universal McCann and Vivo actually took the pains to look at our validation studies that we'd been done. Neuro-Insight is the only neuromarketing company in the world to have scientific and commercial validation. In fact, here's a quote from the Neuro-1 study that the ARF did, where they applaud the validation studies that we'd done. And they talk about us better be able to get to the brain signal that actually impacts behavior. So how do we do it? I'm going to play a short video, and you're going to see me here, and I'm going to see me there, but why not? Neuro-Insight is one of the largest neuromarketing companies in the world.
We measure people's brain's reactions to any kind of stimulus using a proprietary technology that we invented called SST.
We're bringing 100 people through this room this week, and it's only when we average together all 100 of you guys that we start to get a picture of what's going on. And what this is going to do is it's going to fit right over your head just like this, like you're an Olympic swimmer. There's a whole bunch of these little white dots on there. And all it's going to do is each one is going to sit on a particular part of your head and read the electrical activity in that particular part. And then we'll look at the patterns and the different dynamics, which parts are lighting up at which times, and try to figure out how you're reacting.
Eventually, technologies like this will become as commonplace as, say, a focus group or a survey. It'll become essential to doing market research.
Two Pranavs at the same time. It's kind of cool. So what did we do? We basically took 4 different content types, offline and online. We had online music videos, we had online TV clips, we had online TV, and we had traditional TV. And we took the same ads when we placed them naturally as they occur in these 4 different content types. We use a minimum cell size of 50 people. In this case, 150 people came through our doors. It was a naturalistic viewing environment. We actually rented a service apartment in New York and did the study there. And with that, I'm going to hand over the stage to Graham to take you through the results.
Thanks, Pranav, star of Stage Screen and Neuromarketing. So what were our results? Our results confirmed there were three key drivers of video advertising effectiveness from a neuromarketing perspective. These key drivers were content engagement, which is a gauge of personal relevance and investment by the viewer, emotional involvement, which is a measure of the emotional appeal of the content, and ad break memory encoding, which represents the precise moment an element of the ad is memorized by the brain. Let's focus on the last of these, ad break memory encoding, since this metric largely reflects the emotional intensity and involvement of the advertising, and arguably it's the acid test of all 3 metrics. Overall, we looked at 3 types of video channels: television, online video, and music video. We found that ad break memory encoding for all 3 channels was in a range of 0.61 to 0.69, which is at the upper end of Neuro-Insights mid-range norms. And we can see that on average, TV scored 0.61, online video 0.65, and music videos about 0.69. Now, from an agency perspective, the key thing that we wanted to do is apply these findings to our media planning, and specifically to see what the implications would be for video channel planning. Essentially, what we've seen indicates that Neuro-Insights findings validate cross-platform KPI performance. Generally, our findings on video reflect other research we see elsewhere, from our own IPG Media Lab trials to published sources such as Nielsen. The other thing is that cross-platform optimization is only marginal. When we look at a TV campaign and then add in online video, the reach only increases very marginally. For example, here we've looked at the net reach delivery of 400 ratings among women aged 25 to 54, where we've used UM's multi-channel reach tool, CAT. On TV, 400 ratings provides about 78 to 80% reach. But when we include high-quality online video at various levels from 5 to 20% of the total budget, the net reach only increases by about 2 reach points to about 80 to 82%. In truth, a reach of 2 net reach points seems hardly worthwhile. But when we look at the KPI advertising effects, a different picture emerges. Now, on this slide, similar to the reach figures we just looked at, the KPIs shown here are simulated in CAT from known previous campaigns. And as before, I've deliberately chosen a middle-of-the-road audience of women aged 25 to 54 so that we can see some typical normative results. Again, we've switched money from television to online video in 5% tranches, from 5% to 20%, to see what the optimum level would be. We found the optimum budget level range was around 10 to 15%. However, in this instance, the increase in standard metrics such as brand and message recall is much larger. Here, the index for brand recall lifts to about 112, and a message recall, it lifts to 114. And critically, the important insight is that Neuro-Insights findings tell us why standard messaging KPIs improve. Until now, cross-platform improvements were often accepted at face value without necessarily understanding the underlying reasons why these lifts were happening and why they were feasible. As such, this is a highly valuable diagnostic measure we now have from Neuro-Insight. So we have 3 overarching conclusions from this study. 1, high-quality online video Ads are typically more effective due to their performance in 3 key areas: content, engagement, emotional involvement, and ad break memory encoding. 2, quality online video ads tend to grab consumers more quickly. Neuro-Insights second-by-second tracing indicates memory encoding critically starts earlier and more strongly with online ads. And when online and TV CPMs align, that is, their costs are broadly similar, at least 10 to 15% of the budget should be in quality online video. And it's worth noting that for upscale or younger adults, the online budgets may be higher still. Thank you.